third show of the season. Memphis, Detroit, now Vegas for Lonnie Walchek from Wichita, Kansas. He's come close, second last year to Doug Kent, PBA World Championships in Toledo.
It's all a good game.
And if Lonnie were to happen to win today, it wouldn't be by luck, although a little luck never hurt anybody. But this guy's really learned how to manage his game over the last 2 years.
A moment ago, speaking to his young daughter, watching back at home in Kansas, along with wife, Amy. Not a good break at all for Walchek to start the day.
A little fast.
Yeah, that's exactly right. A little fast. Now this 2-8-10 normally is not makeable, but here, because these pins fly around so much, throw the ball and you drive it straight into this 2-8 really hard, slapping it around, getting it off the sidewall, maybe having it go over in this area, and having it come out of the back and clip that 10 pin. He's going to throw the slow hook.
Leaves the 10.
See, now that's that same thing, only if throwing the ball a lot harder, a lot faster, would have gotten those pins to move around the back part of the lane. Watch the 2 pin almost come back out of there. More speed, it might have just done that.
We know Lonnie is someone very focused, but still difficult to start your match with an open frame.
Yeah, and he's got to get his emotions intact, because the one thing that he did so well all week long was keep his ball speed down.
Facing the turtle, Tim Chris. Great start for Chris. Tim, who normally on TV show days is working with us as a tape spotter with David Winter, our EVS operator in the truck. By the numbers this week, Chris and Walchek pretty close, and a lot of the key stats, including strike percentage.
Great spare conversion rate for Tim Chris as well. He was down last night in the round of 8. Rick Steelsmith 2-1. Came back and won the last 2 games.
So Tim jumps out of the TV truck, gets some help there with a trip 4, and on to the lanes.
Well, you know, he gets his nickname, the Turtle, and ball speed is certainly not an issue for Tim Chris. He can manage slow ball speed with the best of them. We've seen Walter Ray trip the 4. Tim Chris gets the great break with the trip 4.
Strike percentage so far. Nice improvement this week in Vegas. Back to Walchek. Had to hurry to get into the pocket and left the 10 pin.
And one disadvantage for Lonnie Walchek is that he had the lowest average of the 5 bowlers today on the TV pair. And low, he averaged 228. Not exactly lousy. Rooms with his brother Brian out here. He says Brian is a calming influence on him. They talk strategy, but Brian's outlook's a little bit different because he's got a higher rev rate. He hooks it more.
Right. He told us last night sometimes they agree to disagree on plenty of subjects having to do with bowling strategy. He's down early after the open frame, 21 pins.
Well, the right lane shot was good. This lane here, opening shot was too fast. And again, he told me last night, trying to keep his speed soft and trying to keep it soft to get it to roll. Keep it in the oil instead of throwing it to a spot. That's what he did all week long. There you go. See how much softer that was, Dave Ryan?
Exactly where he wanted it, and exactly where you want to be tonight. 10:30 Eastern Time, watching Stuart Scott, Tom Jackson, Steve Young review the Super Bowl live from Qualcomm Stadium in San Diego. NFL Primetime presented by Miller Lite. See highlights from the big game, interviews from both teams at the conclusion of ABC's network coverage. For more, log on to ESPN.com. The Raiders, the Bucks tonight. Prediction?
I like the Bucks.
Okay.
Defense. Defense, brother.
Floridian
defense.
likes the Bucks. Back to Chris. Came in a bit light. A little late hook on his ball.
A, he either missed it at the bottom, meaning the release, or B, threw it too hard. Direction-wise, looked pretty good. But this ball never grabbed the back part of the lane. There was no friction created and no change of direction.
Strange ball reaction, especially toward the end there. Got his mark after starting with a double.
And it's been a while since Tim has been to the telecast. His last TV show was 2001 Greater Cincinnati Classic, and it's understandable for him to be a little anxious and a little nervous. Starts off with 2 in a row, gets pumped up, maybe threw that one a little bit too hard.
November 11th of 2001, that was his last TV show. Lost to Doug Kent. 5 career PBA wins. His best season, 97, when he won 3 times. Looking for help, does not get it on the 10.
It didn't hit very well.
Got by Steel Smith last night, round of 8 here in Vegas. After defeating Brian Voss in the round of 16, that went the full 5 games. How about Voss this week with a back-to-back 300 games?
Yeah, I was going to say we have to pay homage to Brian Voss. What a performance all week long. 28 in a row at one point.
Part of an 300 game week. And you see his wife here, his young daughter, Sherry and Amanda, coming to us from Bel Air, Maryland. They travel with Tim quite a bit, most of the tour season, except for a couple weeks on the West Coast where they don't have the motorhome. Little man is excited. Look just like Tim.
They've actually gone 3 weeks without seeing each other.
Right.
Tim just went like cash, cash, cash. They come out this week, he makes the show. Get out of there!
Got some help. Across the pin deck on the 10-pin.
Well, hello, Messenger, and again, the awesome carry. As you see the profile of Lonnie Wallachek, he really sticks the finish. Here comes the head pin. Get out of town.
Now Lonnie looks for a triple. Strike here puts him up by a 1 pin. Bottom of your screen, how some of the other bowlers have fared. And Brian Voss with a 245 average, but that's the thing with the new format, Randy. No matter how well you bowl throughout qualifying and into match play, you can get yourself in trouble in the best of 5, and suddenly you're out.
Yeah, and our partner Joe Ciccone, who works as our official scorer on Sundays, had a great tournament. He's been bowling great as of late. Nice to see Joe bowling better.
How some of the other top bowlers are performing.
Wow.
Balk there from Lonnie.
All right, regroup. See Chris Barnes do this many times, although I don't think Chris actually lets go of it like this. We've got a shot clock violation. The first offense is $100. Every offense after that is $500. Could get expensive.
Let's go this time.
There we go. Yeah, baby, nobody's going anywhere.
He liked that upon release.
In order for Lonnie Wallachek to win, he told me he has to get comfortable, find his shot in practice, and when he starts, he has to have a clear mental picture. Right now, he's working on 3 in a row.
He said to us last night, Randy, he gets that clear picture pretty early, usually the warm-up time. First couple of balls, although his first frame was open. So maybe he didn't have it right away, but he's got it back down with a triple. Back to Tim. No help on the 10-pin.
Tim, first shot clock.
That was Kirk Von Kruger, our tournament director, telling him he had also a shot clock violation. Time expired, 25 seconds.
Yeah, and the thing that,
One each.
excuse me, Dave, the thing that concerns me right now is the last 2 shots from Tim Chris. Week 10, Tim Chris told me that
Around the ball.
the one thing that he can't do is have his ball plaque. And what I mean by that is when the ball is finishing too weak and you leave that week 10, he's got to make a ball change.
Plenty of TV appearances for Tim Chris. 23 prior. He's 13-20 all-time with a 215 average. Under the lights here, he's got the 4-7 to deal with.
You know, and I deal with this week in and week out. I go week 10, and then I try to get a little bit extra to get the ball to finish harder, and it jumps up high and leaves the 4-7. Or the fast 8. Excuse me.
His 13-20 record we talked about. Covers. It's a semifinal match. The guy they call the Turtle, Tim Chris, looking for his first win of the year. Wallachek for his first career title.